Okay, folks, we're going to roll. All right, my name's Patrick Kelly. I'm the Secretary-Treasurer of Teamsters Local 952. We've got about 8,500 members here in Orange County, and some of them are homeless. Some of them are sleeping in their cars. The homeless piece impacts all of us, and whether we admit it or not. And when we have people living in the Santa Ana riverbed and can't even go and have a dignified use of the facilities, like going to the toilet, not only does that take away from their dignity, it takes away from all of our dignity. And we're proud to partner up with Colette's Children's Home to resist the cuts that are taking place on transitional housing, not just here in Orange County, but throughout the United States. A friend of mine, an old friend of mine, referred to the homeless issues many years ago, before it got as bad as it is, to modern barbarism. And that's what it is. And so the Teamsters Union, and there's some other labor folks here, are proud to partner up with the community in general and the homeless advocates and the homeless people in particular. So I'm going to have Billy O'Connell come on up here, Billy, and give a little report on what's happening. Billy also serves the Huntington Beach City as a city councilman, and then we're going to hear from Loretta and Alan and a bunch of the other electeds. But I want to thank you on behalf of our members for taking the time to come here and participate. Because if we all participate and we stand up, and particularly if it takes a situation to speak truth to power and take the appropriate action, I can tell you, we've got the electeds here that are prepared to do that. And so, with that being said, Brother Billy.
Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate all the hard work you've put into this, and it's very important. A lot of times the homeless folks are voiceless and they have nobody to advocate for them. First of all, I would like to thank Senator Dianne Feinstein for reaching out and working to see what they can do to help our organizations here in Orange County. I want to thank the Congresswoman Loretta Sanchez for being a strong advocate to try and make changes here in our community, and also thank you, Alan Lowenthal, Congressman, for coming here today. For those of you who do not know it, there is no longer HUD-funded transitional housing here in Orange County. And if you bear with me 1 second, I'd like to show real briefly what's going on here. Over here we have homelessness in Orange County. We have transitional housing and emergency shelter. HUD is no longer funding transitional housing, and there is no emergency shelter or little shelter here in Orange County. What HUD is funding is permanent supportive housing and rapid rehousing. In order to be eligible for permanent supportive housing, you have to be chronically homeless or have a disabling condition. For rapid rehousing, you have to be able to qualify for the apartment. So what happens here is there's a whole group of people that are being left out in the cold, especially women and children who will not be eligible for these funded programs. In other words, what is happening is we have a systematic discrimination against homeless women and children by design. Whether the good intentioned people designed it this way, or if they do not know the impact that they're having in our communities. But we're hoping that they will get the message that they are creating more homelessness in Orange County. What we have shown that transitional housing in our community is cost effective and it turns people's lives around. We have a couple of women here today that have graduated the program that are now working, and we can go on and on and on. But what we have the proof to show that it's cost effective. And in 2015, we as one organization had requests from 3,903 homeless women and children. We were able to take 565 homeless women and children off the streets, help 172 women maintain and retain employment, reunify 18 mothers and 38 children, and help over 250 women and children move into permanent housing. So we are meeting the goals, and hopefully the folks in Washington will reconsider and make a difference here locally. Thank you so much, and we appreciate each and every one of you for being here today.
All right. Now, format-wise, we're going to hear from the congressional delegation that's present, and they'll give brief presentations, and then we're going to hear from a couple of labor people, and then we're going to hear from the other electeds. And then we're going to open this up to Q&A. Now, I invite all of you that can to come over to our hall this afternoon, 140 South Marks Way, and participate in our town hall. I do think that Congresswoman Waters is probably going to attend. I talked to her this morning. She and Congressman Royce both sit on a committee that is very strategic to what happens in the housing sector. So it's important. But I'll tell you, although there may not be a lot of people here, the people that are here are fighters and are people that believe in doing what it takes to make sure that people are represented. And I'm going to introduce someone that really doesn't need any introduction, that's a strong fighter for Southern California and for California for a long time, my friend, Congresswoman Loretta Sanchez. Yeah.